Trucker Dave, and today we're going to get this finished up. As you saw in the last video, we got the engine in, and that was about all we did. So now we're going to put the torque converter in. We're going to get all the stuff done on the bottom side. It's supposed to be nice today before the rain moves in tonight, so hopefully I'll roll it outside and we can do some stuff out in the sunshine, which will be nice. So let's get the bottom side done, and then we can start moving on the top side, and hopefully we'll have it fired before the end of the day. Okay, so we're under the car. We've got to get the torque converter bolts through, not that hole, but that hole, and then get them all bolted up. And once we get that done, we can get the transmission screwed together and get the rest of the exhaust bolted back up and the motor mount bolts in, and we'll be done on the bottom side. So let's get that done. So I figure maybe another 15-20 minutes under the car and the underside will be completely buttoned up. So let's get that taken care of and go from there. Okay, so now that we're under the car, we're gonna have to put the gas line on next. We're gonna torque up the engine mount bolts up here. I've got to put the starter and the inspection plate in, and with the exhaust we've got to tighten that up. But everything else is in. Put the new oil filter on, and yeah, I'm just real pleased with how fast this went. The torque converter went rather well, so now that we've got the whole bottom side of the car done, we have to do the top side now. So what we're going to do is we're going to find top dead center here, get that ready to go so we can re-stab the new distributor. We have to hook the throttle linkage up, got the fuel line all hooked up, put the valve covers on, and we have to make sure that we get the oil pressure sensor plugged up with the new sensor and the temperature sensor, so that way we don't lose all our antifreeze when we fill it up. So let's get that all going. Let's go find top dead center and let's start working on that. Okay, so we got the electrical, everything but the coil off this old engine. We're going to take these tabs. Come over here and see these tabs. These tabs hold a wiring harness that goes around the engine that controls the coil and all the sensors. We took the oil pressure sensor out of the back. We still have to take the water temperature sensor out of the front. So we're going to do that now and take off everything else that we need on this engine and put it on our new engine. So let's get to it. Alright, so we've got our rubber gaskets for our valve covers here. We're going to lay these over to make sure they're the right ones, and they are. So we're going to run a thin bead of silicone around each side of them and then get them stuck on, but make sure that we get the valve covers on the right side. That way we can fill it up with oil a lot easier, because it's easier to fill up from the front side of the engine than the back side of the engine. They will fit on both ways, so you want to make sure you got the right one on the right side. So just a little tip. Okay, so we got the valve covers on now. We've been busy putting the water hoses on, getting the fuel lines run. We have the electrical right here. It's all set up. And we have the clips on the valve covers for the electrical. So we have to run that around. Put this back on somehow. And hook the MSD box up. So we'll do that. We did run into a problem, which we'll tell you about here in a few minutes. But for the most part, it's all coming together really well. So let's put the electrical together now. Okay, so we've got the electrical all run. We don't have the distributor in, and that's another story I have to tell you all about. We got the power steering hooked up. We don't have the accelerator pump. We got the carburetor right there. I need to get the blocking plate off the old engine there. But for the most part, it's just about all complete. So it turned gloomy really quick, and the rain's coming, so we're gonna have to push this in the garage. So I'm going to get this thing pushed in the garage and we'll do a follow-up here in a minute and I'll tell you what's left, because regrettably I don't think I'm going to be able to get this thing started today. So, and I'll tell you why. And it may be 100% my fault. So, wait a minute. Now, if you have a stud you have to remove, I'm going to show you a little trick. So come on here closer and I'll show you. A lot of these studs I'm dealing with, if you got two studs, you can double nut them. Screw one nut down here, screw another nut on top of it, just snug them, and well, and it should come right out. Well, the other one did. Sometimes you have to hold it, but yep, there we go. Comes right out like that. There you go. Yes. Okay, so we've gone as far as we can go. We've had a couple of setbacks that are going to require a lot of attention. One thing I overlooked was the Cougar pan and the Torino pan. While they're the same depth and everything, they had the drain plug in the wrong spot. Which didn't mean I still couldn't get the oil out, but then when we tried to stab the distributor, when I dropped it in, the drive rod went and jammed itself, and now it won't come out. So I'm not sure how to get that out, so we're going to pull the engine up. And I got a brand new oil pump in there, so I might as well put the brand new oil pump in, put the right pan on, because I'm going to have to unjam the oil pump rod, the pump rod. So that's kind of where we're at with this right now. I was hoping to have it all done. It's about 98% complete. We're gonna pull that engine apart tomorrow. When I took this off, it had a Mr. Gasket phenolic block, which I really liked, but when we took it off, it broke on the corner. So I'll have to go down and get another riser block, but I'm not going to worry about that now because, like I said, we have to pull the engine back up. We're not going to have to pull it all the way out, which is a good thing. On one of my old videos when I showed replacing the oil pump, we didn't have to pull it out. So it's just an afternoon. It doesn't take very long. It took about 3 hours all when all said and done. So we'll have to do that, and then we'll have to get the distributor stabbed and kind of go start all over that way. But it's not a horrible thing. It's just a little bit of a setback. So we're all done with that. I hope you like this so far. Hopefully when I get home we can finish it out if it's not too cold. If it's too cold to work on it, we'll trust me, we'll have some other neat stuff. So I hope you like what you've seen so far. If you want to see anything, let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe to these videos, and we'll see you next video. That little dot right there in the middle is what's stuck. That's the rod that drives the oil pan, or the oil pump. So we got to figure out how to get that unstuck. And I'll show you the other problem, which isn't a big one, but here in a second. One thing that completely slipped my mind was that on a Torino, your oil plug is on the side. On the Cougar, it's in the back. Same pan, same dimension, same block, but the cross member's right here, about this far off it, so I could probably get the oil changed, but if I have to pull the pan on that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this pan and put this pan on. Well, on a positive note, I actually got it in, and I'll tell you what happened. Part of the problem with buying a used engine is you don't know what you're in for. It's in, it's tight. I'll have to do an oil pressure check. I don't like where the bug is sitting right now. So I may still have to take the pan off and all that and redo all of that, which I'm not excited about, but we'll see. The problem is that with the used engine, whoever built this engine, I told you earlier I was not happy with whoever built this engine. Um, the oil rod, I didn't jam it, it was bent. It's got a little bend in it. So I got in there with a really long screwdriver and finagled it, and I got it to set, and then I kind of forced the distributor in. I did not like doing that. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not happy with it at all. This is not good quality work. So I may just go ahead and order a new distributor and go ahead and just redo it all. I might give it a couple cranks once I get it all put together to see if it's actually building oil pressure, but aside from that, no, I'm not happy. So, but I got it in, so we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, which I'm really not counting on, we'll fix it right. It'll get fixed right regardless. So we'll see what happens.